Hello, everyone. My name is Kanushri. Uh, Before we dive into our AP Chemistry Masterclass, I'd like to take a moment to introduce to the organization making this session possible. Let's Unbound. Let's Unbound is dedicated to empowering students across more than 25 countries by fostering STEM skills, life skills, and college readiness. Our mission is to help students achieve their life skills by 18 and life goals by 35 through personalized learning and mentorship. With programs ranging from skill development, gifted test, college prep to Ivy League readiness, Let's Unbound has taught over 4,000 students, conducted more than 125,000 hours of teaching, earned a global 4.9 out of 5 rating. By combining innovative teaching methods with strong mentorship, Let's Unbound helps students realize their potential and make a positive impact on the world. So, as we begin today's masterclass, remember, you're building skills that will help you excel far beyond the test in college, career, and life. Okay, over to you, Kamal.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. Hello, Sanvi, Vineet, sir. I don't know whether your parents or students. It's my humble request if you can turn on your video, that will be nice to see you. Okay, let me share my screen. So when we talk about AP chemistry, as we all know, chemistry is one of the most difficult APs in general. Why so? Because the topics which are covered in AP chemistry are ranging from topics like thermodynamics, equilibrium, acid-base reactions, kinetics, etc. Okay. And we all know the importance of AP exams. In general, we use AP for college credit, at times to make our application strong. Correct. Moving forward, what are the common question types in AP chemistry? So usually students ask me, sir, can you please tell us that what are the question types? So like many other AP exams, there are two papers. So first paper, or we say paper one, this consists of multiple choice questions, correct? In which you'll be having four options and you need to find the correct one, correct? So you'll be having 60 such questions, okay? And you'll be having 90 minutes to attempt the same. Usually we tell our students that attempt the questions in 1.25 or 1.3 minutes, and then you can have remaining time for difficult questions or the questions which you have not attempted or you are having confusion. Nowadays, like from last 3-4 years, what is happening? Other than focus on the quick calculation part, okay, what AP or college board is looking forward to the students, that they want us to solve questions quickly, correct? Why? Because when we'll be looking at the syllabus, we can clearly see that a majority of the portion belongs to the physical chemistry, correct? So obviously, it emphasizes on quick calculations and then conceptual understanding. The topics which are frequently asked in MCQ section is stoichiometry, thermodynamics, molecular geometry. For example, a very typical question asked in AP Chem exam is, you need to calculate the pH of a solution where they have given us the concentration, correct? So they'll be giving you four options and you need to choose one. So this was about paper one, multiple choice section. Moving forward, the next paper is having free response questions. So there are 7 questions and you will be having roughly 105 minutes to attempt the same, correct? So what is there? There are 3 long questions which are having 10 marks each and 4 short questions weighing 4 marks each. So roughly you can say 30 marks for long FRQs and 16 marks for short FRQs. So 46 marks in general for your free response questions. In general, in long FRQs, which is weighing 10 marks. We do have subparts starting from A, B, C, D. At times it can go up to G or H. Okay. And the short FRQ in general, it has 3 or 4 subparts. Correct. So obviously every subpart has got its own marking scheme, which usually we tell our students during our sessions that how do you follow such marking scheme while you are attempting the long FRQs and short FRQs. In general, we tell our students that you should attempt long FRQ in roughly 23 minutes. And a short FRQ, you usually have 15 minutes. Correct? Rest of the time, you can review your work. So something like that. Okay. So one of the very frequently asked question in FRQ section is, you need to use ICE table to calculate the equilibrium concentration for a reaction. Okay. So this was about free response question section. Moving forward, there is this another type of question which is lab based. So many of these students are usually having lab work in their school. So they do have the apt visualization and conceptual understanding of topics, correct? But if you do not have the lab work in your school, you don't have to worry about it, correct? We will be explaining everything like understanding of experimental design, error analysis, correct interpretation of titration curve, identifying variables in reaction. So a student has to cover everything during classes, correct? So a very typical question can be how changing temperature affects the rate of a reaction in a given experiment. So this question is from kinetics, but again, this is purely lab based. Okay. If you'll be having any questions, we'll be addressing those questions at the end, correct? Moving forward. So when we talk about the weightage, so as we said, the multiple choice questions, they will be weighing 50% of your total score, correct? And obviously you'll be receiving 1 point for each correct. And obviously there is no penalty for incorrect answers. Please mind it. There is no penalty for incorrect answers. That's the reason we tell our students and we tell you also that you have to attempt all the questions. Okay. Because even if you leave any of the questions, it is not going to benefit you. But if you are confused out of two options, you still have 50% chances that your answer will be correct. Same ways, the free response question is also having 50% of the total score, correct? And obviously, these questions are graded by the AP readers. We call them AP readers. So who are AP readers? Usually they are the experienced teachers and college faculty, correct? When we say there is a set rubric and set procedure, so obviously when we practice or when you practice, you should usually solve at least 5 mock exams, correct? And every mock exam has to be checked by experienced teacher. So he or she can give you a feedback. He and she can tell you the marking scheme. So for FRQ section, suppose if you have done some mistake in your A part, correct? And suppose the answer is 2 grams per mole. Okay. And you are carrying forward this answer to the next subpart. Correct. The answer is not correct. The correct answer is suppose 1 grams per mole. But you are applying every formula correct in your second part. So even if you are carrying forward the wrong answer and you are doing entire thing correct in your B subpart, you will be getting full mark for your B subpart. So your mistakes are not carried forward. Correct. So this is one of the marking rubric provided by the college board. Okay. Moving forward. Obviously, the composite score is being calculated from your MCQ and FRQ section. Okay. And then a composite score is awarded to you. Usually the composite score is from 1 to 5. 5 is extremely qualified. Usually our students, they score 4 and 5 only, correct? And 4 is like qualified, and followed by 3, 2 and 1. Okay. So when we look at the previous results, usually uh, roughly 15 to 18% of the total students score a perfect 5 in their AP Chem examination. Correct? This percent varies year on year basis. So like I said, extremely qualified 5, well qualified 4, equivalent to B grade you can see, qualified equivalent to C, possibly qualified which is 2, and no recommendation which is 1. Correct? So if you want a very good strong application, college board application for your college admission, we always tell you to work towards for a perfect 5. Okay. Many of our students, let's Unbound students, they are scoring perfect 5 every year. What are the common purposes of AP scores? Obviously, we can use these scores for college credit and placement, correct? A perfect score makes your application strong, and your chances of getting admission in that college become very strong. Likewise, obviously admission consideration. So as it is, AP Chem score or AP Chemistry is having rigorous coursework, lot of different variety of topics, so it helps in admission process. A good score, obviously. Moving forward, there are few other interpretation of scores in terms of international education, and then strengthening your college applications as we discussed, and then obviously many times it is professionally recognized also, but the most important use is strengthening your college application. Okay, let me go through take you through the most important document which is provided by college board. uh, so you can find the same on the college board, correct? So it is nothing but it should work like a Bible or a Quran or a Gita for a AP chemistry aspirant. Okay, so let me take you through the important subparts from the document. So while we are talking about the question types for AP Chem exam, there are 6 science practices. Okay, so these are nothing but types of questions which usually college board gives to its students, okay, so that they can practice accordingly. Okay, so like first practice is model and representation, and obviously each practice is having certain color code like violet, blue, dark brown, etc. For example, when we are talking about models and representation, usually in that particular case you need to represent both the macroscopic and particulate properties, something like that. Okay. So once you are very thorough with these scientific practices, you need not to cram them. You just need to keep referring them as you are preparing for your AP Chem exam. Correct. So you'll gradually get the idea. Oh, this question belongs to model and representation. This question belongs to question and method. So when we talk about question and method, it is nothing but theoretical questions. So theoretical questions which are related to laws, which are related to certain lab experiments, procedures, correct? And then collecting data and representing the laboratory setups, something like that. So these are theoretical ones. Obviously, the next one is data representation and phenomenon. So obviously, you will be provided by a graph, and using that graph, you need to fill up a data set or a missing data in a data table. It can be other way around also. They will provide you the data table and you need to make a graph. So this is data representation and phenomenon. Third, scientific practice or science practice. The fourth one is model analysis. Again, many of you must have seen this particular ball and stick model. So in this particular science practice, you'll be getting questions having such diagrams, or maybe Lewis dot structures, or maybe electronic configurations, electronic configurations of copper, chromium, like that. So this model analysis is like having yellow colored pattern. Okay, so suppose you need to predict and or explain chemical property or phenomenon of atoms or molecules using chemical theories, models, and representation. The one of the most important science practices in the entire AP chemistry exam is mathematical routine. Okay, in very common terms, this is nothing but numericals. So in this, obviously, you need to interpret the mathematical expressions, graphs, tables, and you need to apply appropriate theory, definition, and mathematical relationship and find out the answers. Correct? The last but not the least is argumentation. You need to make a valid scientific claim. You need to support that claim from the evidences using experimental data. You need to support that claim using evidences and representation or models. And obviously, you need to provide reasoning to justify the claim. So again, all assertions, reasons, providing claim, justifying those claims, they come under argumentation. Again, mark my words, you need not to learn them or by heart them in first go. You just need to keep them in your head while you are going through the different chapters. Okay. Now, coming forward to the syllabus. So these are the typical 9 units which we or as a AP Chem aspirant you need to study. As you can clearly see that the third chapter is having maximum weightage. So if we take the mean, it is roughly 20% of the total weightage, followed by acids and bases, which is roughly 13% of the total weightage. Rest everything is nearly 8%. Okay. From last 5 years of our experience, acids and bases, this is the most typical and hard unit for all the students, followed by equilibrium, followed by electrochemistry. Okay. So we must understand that every unit has got its own, difficulty level. All you need to do is to practice accordingly. So while uh, you are practicing, when you are keeping certain things in your head, when you will be giving your final exam, it will be very easy exam for you. So one of our students from the last year, she texted us that she could save 20 minutes even after the attempting the entire FRQ section. Why so? Probably because she used to practice our system thoroughly, like practicing MCQs, FRQs after every class. And she has given 10 mock tests and she has taken feedback from all the mock tests. She made mistakes in first 3 or 4 mock exams, but later on the ninth or 10th exam, she did pretty well. And that's how I guess she was able to save 20 odd minutes even after exams. Okay. So this was the syllabus of your AP Chem exam. Now let me move to the next important section of this PDF. So even I can scroll through you. So like we discussed the science practices, AP has done or the college board has done wonderful job. It has divided every unit into subunits. Can you see? Unit 1 is divided into 8 subunits. Correct? Every subunit has got every kind of science practice. So like for example, this first unit has got 4 subparts having numerical section, and then 3 yellows, and then only 1 violet data representation, correct? Likewise, when we talk about unit 2 is not at all having any numerical. It is all yellows and browns, correct? So this particular unit will be asking you the questions based on argumentation, data representation, and model analysis, like that. So having knowledge of science practice will help you understanding in types of questions. Same ways, when you look at the third unit, which is properties of substances and mixtures, you can clearly see that there are a lot of yellows. Okay, only one green, that too in ideal gas law. So there will be numericals based on this particular topic only. You need not to practice numericals from any other section of or subpart of this particular unit. Correct? Okay, so I missed this 3.7 also, like that. Again, there are theoretical questions from this 3.9 only. Likewise, in kinetics and chemical reactions, you can see there are a lot of greens. In kinetics, there are greens and then dark browns, which is argumentation. Again, in chemical reactions, you do have the violets. So like when you will be studying, and if you are keeping these things in your head, it will be easier for you to understand the pattern of the question. As I mentioned, unit 8 is one of the toughest unit for the aspirants. You can clearly see that there are a lot of greens. That means this unit is full of numericals. Correct? I'm sure you can see. Likewise, equilibrium is having few greens, few browns. And thermodynamics is having mix of greens, blues, and browns. So equilibrium is one of the lengthiest one. You can see that there are 12 subtopics. Initially, there used to 13 subtopics, but now there are 12 subtopics. Okay. Last but not the least, the ninth unit, which is having thermodynamics and electrochemistry. Again, this is one of the second lengthiest unit, having 11 subtopics. Okay. So College Board has given a very descriptive analysis for all the units. Like for first unit, for every topic, they have also provided us with the suggested skill. Say for example, every one of us knows that what are moles and molar mass. But what College Board is expecting you to know, they say that you should identify appropriate theory, definition, and mathematical relationship to solve a problem. And you can clearly see a green color here. Okay. Likewise, for photoelectron spectroscopy, you can clearly see that explain whether a model is consistent with the chemical theories or not. So obviously, they'll be giving you a graph, and then you need to understand that graph and answer the questions. So that's how these suggested skills are there for every unit. Okay. So let me now quickly take you to the exam description. So both the subunits, the multiple choice subpart, the multiple choice and free response questions, again, they are divided based on certain science practices, correct? And you can clearly see that the mathematical routine has the maximum weightage in both these subparts of your exam. Roughly 40% in MCQ section and roughly 45% in your free response section. In your free response section, the science practice which is having second highest weightage is argumentation, roughly 20%, followed by theoretical questions, roughly 14%. And in MCQ section, you can clearly see that model analysis is having the second highest weightage, which is roughly 27%. Okay. Can you see there is no science practice 3 in MCQ section? Okay. So you won't be asked to represent data and certain related questions in your MCQ. So again, if you have got good grip over your numericals and argumentation skills, it is high likely that you'll be able to score a 4 or a 5. Okay. Moving to the next segment of our presentation, which are nothing but our sample questions. Okay. So these are the sample questions directly from college board. So like the first question, what they have given us, they have given us an electronic configuration, and they asked that this configuration belongs to which of the following species. Okay. In second question, what they have given us, they have given us a structural formula, and they asked the bond angle between HC and H. Okay. The third question is based on lab or experimental design. So they have given us an image which is of chromatography, and they asked question based on the chromatography. Correct? So there can be variety of questions. Let me show you some more. So like these are the questions based on model analysis. We were discussing, no? So like they have given us the black dot pertains to carbon and the white pertains to hydrogen. So this is CH4. When we solve more such kind of questions, it will be easier for you to understand that, okay, this is CH4 and this is O2. And then they have asked question based on this particular diagram. And even the answer is in the form of diagram only. Correct? There can be numericals. So this fifth question is nothing but numerical. A basic data set is given. Again, this data set is based on titration. Okay. Belongs to equilibrium and lab design. The next question is based on graph. You need to understand the graph and answer the sixth question. The seventh question is based on, again, data set. So these are the type of questions which usually they ask. Okay. Let us quickly discuss the free response question. The first question, what they have given us, they have given us a spectroscope, and based on the spectroscope, they have asked certain questions. The A part, the B part, and the C part, everything is based on this spectroscope. Okay. So there are subparts. How many? Three of them. So this is kind of a short FRQ. Remember, we discussed that it is of 4 marks. And the next one is long FRQ. Can you see? The long FRQ is having subparts till H, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. Remember, nowadays, the long FRQs can be from different chapters. It is not necessary that all subparts are from the same chapter. No. The first subpart can be from unit 1. The E subpart can be from unit 4, unit 5. We have seen a long FRQ containing concepts from 5 chapters. Okay. So it is important to practice application based FRQs. Okay. So when you are practicing, you should always practice questions from previous year papers. So obviously when we are having classes, we give our students unit wise previous year FRQs and MCQs so that they are well versed and well prepared when they'll be giving their final exam. Okay, so let me quickly show you the answer key of your response question. So as you can see, the A subpart is from unit 1 having yellow science practice, correct? 1 mark each. So usually the subparts, they do have 1 mark weightage. Sometimes the subparts can weigh 2 points also, correct? So while we are practicing, we will give you the idea of marking scheme also, that if suppose in B subpart, you are doing this calculation correct using dimensional analysis, we'll be getting 1 mark. And then if you are using this, as we discussed in our session earlier, that you need to carry forward this answer 15.06 mole, and then you are calculating this V correctly, you will be getting another 1 mark. Correct? So likewise, the B subpart is of 2 marks. Okay. Last but not the least, let me quickly go through the appendix part. So you will be provided with this periodic table in your AP Chem exams. So we usually tell our students to get a printout of these 3 pages so that you'll be well versed with the symbols, the conversions, the prefixes, and the different formulas of these appendixes. Okay. That's it from my end. Ma'am, you can continue. Kanushi, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Kamal.
Thank you.
Uh, okay, so that brings us to the end of today's session. I'm sharing some important links in the chat. Please feel free to save them for your reference. We host engaging events and masterclass every weekend and will notify you via email so you never miss out. Thank you for joining us today, and we look forward to
We can
seeing you.
take some questions if they have.
Yeah. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. And meanwhile, I'm sharing the link with you all.
Correct. They're asking for the link of the PDF. So we can also paste that link in the chat section probably. Sanvi is asking for the link of the document which I shared. Do you want me to paste?
Yes, please, Kamal, you could do that.
Yeah. Any questions from any one of you? We'll be more than happy to answer your questions. Okay, Nikhil. So, right time to start. I guess if I'm not, oh, okay, like that. So for AP Cam, I guess 8 standard is not the appropriate timing. Probably let him finish class 8. You can start from, at the end of class 9 or maybe probably at the starting of class 10. Because if you want to start now, there are a lot of basics which we have to cover or he has to cover, for AP exams. Even if there is this course called pre-AP, but again, that is not going to help him. So let him finish class 8 and class 9 probably. No, sir, I'm not getting your question. Area looks different, difficult. Okay, okay. Abhishek sir, AP English will be having separate sessions. Probably if you are in our community, we'll be texting you for different APs. Kanushi ma'am, I guess we can tell Abhishek sir if we are having any upcoming sessions for AP English.
So we actually have events every weekend, and we would keep you posted
Correct.
via email so that you never miss out on anything.
Yes. So Nikhil said, no, it is not necessarily for 11 or 12 graders only. Many students start in even at the end of 10th grade also. But yes, if the student is in 11th grade, he need not to do the pre-AP syllabus. Correct? I guess Nikhil sir, that so this percentage or the percentile varies on every year to year basis, based on the difficulty level and the the maximum score. Nikhil sir. So the College Board has got its own rubrics. So obviously there are rubrics available on various sites. Probably Kanushi ma'am can help you or someone from the team can help you finding it out. Okay. Ma'am, one of the participant is asking, will there be recording for this? Probably yes.
Yes, this session is recorded.
Correct. Okay. So Iram Khan has asked this question. So you'll be getting the recording. Correct. Any more questions? Sanvi, Nikhil sir, Vineet sir, Ali sir. Any more questions? No?
All
Okay.
right.
Yeah,
Looks
thank you.
like there are no more questions. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today, and we look forward to seeing you all at our upcoming sessions. I have already shared the link for the newsletter. Please feel free to save that, and hope to see you next weekend. Until next time, please take care and keep learning. Thank you so much, Kamal.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Kanushi ma'am. Thank you.